Hi, this is Karin at howtotap.com, and I'm going to be rather ambitious today. I am going to try to teach you an overview of how to tap on aspects and why they're important and how to find them, and then tell the story technique and then the movie technique. This includes a little bit of controversy over the movie technique from 15 or however many years, 20 years ago when Gary first started, Gary Craig, the founder of EFT, started EFT, and what has developed over the years with us practitioners practicing. So what I'm going to start out with is very simply, now I've gone over this before. I have an EFT certification class online with interaction with live mentors. And so this is in that course, but just not as I'm just going to do more of an overview because sometimes there seems to be a little confusion over what it is. Now, people play with wording for the EFT and you see it a lot. Just remember you have to learn the basics before, like you're going to create a recipe. You don't start just shoving garlic and mint and everything in it. You look at the proven recipe and then you cook it that way. And then you go, okay, I want a little garlic in this. Oh, I want it to be a little, a little spicier. But you should make the recipe the way it's written and proven with 5 stars and all that stuff before you start messing with it. So I'm going to teach you these 3 tools, the most used tools in EFT. So first, when we talk about aspects, let's say, now we know in EFT you want to find an event for it to work and be specific, but you need to learn about aspects first. Now, so you don't want to generalize. So let's just say, I'm afraid of dogs. Okay? So what does that mean? What am I afraid of exactly? Well, I'm afraid of what does afraid mean? So we have afraid of dogs. Okay. First of all, are you afraid of all dogs? No. I think I'm afraid of big dogs. Okay. So that is an aspect. It's not a small dog. Now, some people are afraid of all dogs. Okay. So let's say, so now I'm just using a case so that we can learn this. So it has to be a big dog. And then I would say, how big is big? Well, if it jumps on me, it's taller than I am. That's a pretty big dog. So if they can put their feet on my shoulders while I'm standing, that's what I'm afraid. So if they only can jump up on my stomach, or up to my abdomen, are you afraid of that dog? Not unless he's chunky. Okay, big dogs. So now this is an aspect. So now we're going to go down this way. All right. So the aspect is big dogs, and it's being able to. A piece of paper is falling. Reach my shoulders, or chunky, and it feels like strong, like strong dogs. Okay, what else? Now notice that these are aspects of the animal. So how does this make you feel if you see a big dog? Oh, well, I'm afraid. Okay. We're not done here yet. What does afraid mean? I won't have control. Okay, now, won't have control. Can easily have its own aspects. What bad thing happens when you don't have control? I could get hurt. What else could happen? What I'm doing is I'm trying to feel what someone would feel if I control. I'm alone. Okay. So does that mean when you're alone, if somebody else is there, are you still afraid of dogs? Yes. So alone is part of control. You know what? It's a white dog. I don't think I have a white or like a, not Dobermans, because it's not bulldogs. So it's white dogs, and so this is white dogs. I actually had a client like this, so and Dobermans. I'm going to do that separately because we want to, you have to be specific, and putting two of them together is not a good idea. So it's white dog, because Dobermans aren't white, by the way, right? So white and Dobermans. Okay. Won't have control. What else are you afraid of? I'll get bit. So I don't see the fear of, in my client tuning in with her, I don't think it's it might be the pain. No, I think this is actually a part of don't have control. So I want to put it here too, because I think there's other aspects. So what bad thing will happen if you get bit? He'll keep going. He'll keep going. All right, this is a full-fledged attack now. Attack. It's not attacked, it's attack. I'll get attacked. That's a big one. Okay. So you can see you go along like this. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, okay? What else are you afraid of dogs? I'll get knocked over. Okay. Okay, and that's so what's the bad things about that? I'll be smaller. I'll be not smaller. I'll be in this is also a part of out of control. So now usually what I do when I do this, I do a scale of 0 to 10, but I'm going to do it afterwards this time. Knocked over. What else? I feel powerless on the ground. I have some chance when I stand up. It has to do with getting away. Okay, can't get away. All right, so I'm going to stop there, and I'm just going to go, okay, big dogs, when they reach my, just so if I do big dogs, 0 to 10, that's 10. Afraid is 0 to 10. Can I do 100? Knocked over. I'm going to give that a 9. Okay, reach my shoulder. Big dogs reach my shoulders. That's not terrible. That's about a 7. Chunky. Ooh, you know what? These might be 2 different aspects. No, I think chunky makes them strong. Chunky because, so this is an aspect, because strong. So chunky, the strong is an aspect of that. So let's see if there's anything else about them being chunky. No, it's about the strength. It's the chest, big chest. All right, so okay, and when you have your client close their eyes, they can tune in better. All right. Okay. So what's chunky? You know, it's okay that they're fat. So it definitely, it's okay so that it's definitely strength. And so what is chunky? Chunky is because strong. Yeah, so chunky because fat doesn't matter. So chunky is because strong, that's a 10. That's probably more than a 10. Yeah, big chest. That's like we'll call that a 8. Okay, white. Oh yeah, that's a 10. All right, what I would be guessing right now as a practitioner is something happened with a white dog and then maybe later on happened with a Doberman. So let me just see what a Doberman is. Yeah, the Doberman isn't as strong. It looks like it's, I think that's just what she learned. So Dobermans, that's like an 8. But we're sticking to aspects right now, not events. So so I can teach you this. All right, afraid 10, won't have, I could get hurt. Now notice is I will get hurt. It's not will. I could get hurt. That's a 9. And I'm alone. Alone is definitely part of the big. So big dog, I'm alone. Yeah, that's a pretty much a 9. Alone because I won't have control. See how it goes this way? Alone because I don't have control. Eh. 6, because I might get bit if I don't have control. That's good. That's like a 10. The funny thing is like, you know, she's not afraid of getting hurt. That's not the big deal. See, that's what you would think. So, but it's not. So you do what you do now. That's up to them. Okay. I'm afraid because I might get bit, whether I have control or not. I got to separate these 2 bits. So I might get bit. That's just a general. I'm afraid because it's only a 9. So you can see that the getting bit part is more part of not having control. That they'll keep going. Okay. Yeah, once they start, they'll keep going. I would say that's only a 9. I would expect it to be a 10. And I'll get attacked. That's a 10. I'm gonna give it a 9 too. I have to tell you that this is more feeling like so when I do this, I'm feeling with the client, even if I'm making it up. That way I can understand it more. And so it's okay that I'm trying to figure out what I think, but like you would think that that getting bit is why she's more afraid, but it's a 9. We're getting bit here because she has no control. So it's actually related to control on this one. So, you know, she's not this. Okay. So this feels like it's like she was already, something happened. She was already afraid of dogs. And I mean, the big white dogs. And then she saw a movie or learned about Dobermans and how they attack. And so now it hooks in. So it's an aspect. The Dobermans are an aspect of being afraid of dogs. And it's not, it could possibly, nothing ever happened to her with the Doberman. I know a guy that was afraid of spiders because he watched a movie where, you know, a tarantula attacked somebody. So that's how he became afraid of spiders. And then his brother went like this on him when he was watching the movie, and that did it. Okay, so I'm not going to do that. You do the same thing here, here, and here. Now, if you look, what we're doing is we're going this way. When we find the aspects, we go this way. All right? That's not working really well. So when we're going this way. That means we're dividing it into pieces. So if you would think of it like this, it looks more like, here's the issue, right? And then this, and this is part of that aspect and part of that issue. And then this, and this. And you might even go farther, right? So this, you know, some of them might go deeper. Right? So this goes down. I mean, this might have 2, 3, whatever it is. So what does this mean, these little things that I'm doing? So like the issue is afraid of dogs. Big dogs would be this one. Reach my shoulder. Chunky because, well, that one's good. Let's do this one with this chunky because strong, because then this is big chest is an aspect of that, and strong is an aspect of that. So it's a white dog, and so the Doberman, see, it's by itself. So this would be another one over here. Would be Doberman and alone. and then won't have control. So let's say this one's won't have control. Then it could be I could get hurt, alone, and I'll be bit, right? And so the bit has its own. Keep going, and I'll be attacked. They'll keep going, and I'll be attacked. So what we're doing is when you go this way to find them out, and then what you do is you work on them this way. All right? So you don't have to go whichever one is deeper. That doesn't matter. You just start with one of these aspects, and then you do these. So let's do reach my shoulder. Let's do chunky because there's two of them there. And then you would go, even though I'm afraid of dogs because they're strong and chunky, I deeply, completely love and accept myself. I'm still okay right here, right now. Even though if there's a dog that is strong because he's chunky and that makes him strong, I'm okay right here, right now. So this chunkiness of dogs, a dog that's chunky, a dog that's chunky, a dog that's chunky, a dog that's chunky, right? A dog that's chunky, a dog that's chunky. All right. Okay, if just staying on that aspect of chunky because it's strong, just that aspect of chunky because that means it's strong. What is that now? And they're going to go, well, he also has a big chest. So you have to go, not yet. Let's let's pretend he doesn't have a big chest. Just pretend he's chunky, right? And you think he's strong, 0 to 10. And now they'll go, I'm making this up. They'll go, 9. All right, so then you write that down. All right, now if you just choose to hop around, you've still got to come back and get these down. All these are related, of course. So you could be working on chunky because that means he's strong, and suddenly they won't have control. When you get to this one, it might not be a 10 anymore. So you just work on these and you keep working on them. And if you hop around, just keep your notes so that you can tap on alone, and then alone comes down to, an 8, then it comes down to a 4, then it comes down to a 1, and it's not moving at a 1. Well, then you have another trick, but that's okay. Let's call it a 2. You can either try to get this all the way down, but if you remember, alone is over here too. So we have to do, it's okay to hop around as long as you get to each aspect and bring them all down to zeros. The only thing different about this is as you're tapping, because you're clearing the emotions and the charge, and you're working with the amygdala and its flight, fight, or freeze response and keeping yourself safe, and the hippocampus, and I won't go into that. What could happen is, and usually does, is that an event will come up. Oh my gosh, when I was 6, that dog he was like this big, chunky, he was playful, but he came running up to me and I was real little and he knocked me over and I couldn't get up. So that might come up, which is what we're going to teach you in a minute, is to how to tell a story. All right, so I'm going to stop this video now. I'm going to go review it one more time. Remember that, and then I'm going to do a separate video for the other two. So here's the thing. When you locate the aspects, so this is the big deal. We're working on aspects. This becomes very important. Aspects are very important for EFT, as well as tell the story, and the movie technique, and pretty much everything. Because it's the aspects, it's dividing these aspects up and tapping on one at a time, because we're not what we call living in the mountain of I'm afraid of dogs, which is all these emotions, all these aspects at the same time. And if you're trying to deal with all this at the same time, no wonder you want to run from any big white dogs or Dobermans, right? So what you have to do is just work with each aspect, because then no one's usually, people who don't know EFT, they're not used to separating their fears, separating their problems into the different aspects. And what's nice about EFT is you can separate them, tap each of them down, and it'll help clear it. Myself, I do aspects with someone is overwhelmed with something and they don't understand what it is and why they're afraid of dogs. And if we work on the aspects, the event will come up, and then I'll move to tell the story. So even if I don't get all this down to zero, I could go tell the story, and on that one thing that popped up, because it always pops up. And then I would come back. You would need to come back and test every single one of these. Because remember, I'm thinking it's the white dog, but it's also a Doberman. So we might have to tell the story and her watching the movie. It is possible that if you get this down, and usually if you do tell the story on the core event, and the white dog came first, the Doberman's not going to be a big deal. But you just still test it, because what if it is? And so that's how easy that is. So that's aspects. And next I will teach you tell the story and the difference between tell the story and the movie technique, and how it's changed from 20 years ago. Alrighty, thank you.